sound of the Yugara people. Brisbane Roar taking on Macarthur. It's been raining goals in recent matches for these two sides, particularly in the Unite round. So let's hope that that's a sign of things to come this evening. These are two sides that started the season brilliantly. Brisbane Roar going all the way to the Australia Cup final under Ross Aloisi. But in recent weeks, things have gone off the boil. This evening is an opportunity to turn the ship around and get back to an upward trajectory as we see the two sides in the Isuzu Ute tunnel camp. A win for either, and they'll be up to fourth. It'll be a real shot in the arm as we come up to the midway point of the season and turn for home. Uli Davila, the captain of Macarthur, leading his side out. He's in fantastic form, and it's a special night, a milestone night for the Mexican. Tom Aldred leading out Brisbane Roar in what has been a tough month for Brisbane Roar. That victory over Newcastle in Sydney last weekend doing great things for their morale. That 3-2 win over Newcastle. Uli Davila as well in stunning form. Ben Khan's 4-3-3 formation then. Florent Berenguer failed a late fitness test, so he joins a raft of injured players, including Henry Hoare and Scott Neville. Two changes in all. Alex Parsons coming in for Berenguer, and Joe Coletti returns to the starting 11 at the expense of Taras Gomulka. Ryan Lethlean starts his second consecutive match at left back since his move from Melbourne Victory, and Keegan Jelicic is on the bench 3 years after his last and only second appearance in the A-League for Brisbane Roar. Mile Sturjovski's also going with a 4-3-3 formation. He makes two changes from the side that drew 3-3 with Western United. Kieran Backus has served his one-match ban for yellow cards. He replaces Clayton Lewis, and Raphael, who was ill in the lead-up to the 1-1 draw, to the 3-3 draw against Western United, he returns to the starting 11. He scored in the 1-1 draw against Brisbane on the opening day of the season. Valère Germain leads the line in attack, but the goal threat could come from midfield. Jake Holman has 4, Uli Davila 5. And on the bench, a certain Bernardo, fresh from his move from Adelaide United. There are our two captains. Uli Davila, 5 goals this season, a hat-trick on the weekend, and this evening a 100th A-League career match, 50 for Wellington Phoenix, and this evening the big 5-0 for Macarthur as well. 19 goals in his 50 games for the Wellington Phoenix. He's got 15 at the moment for Macarthur in 49. We'll see what happens at the end of 90 minutes here, and with Uli Davila anything can happen. Ben Khan, he got his first win as head coach in his second match in charge. The former Olympic coach in the NPL in Queensland, as well as Melbourne Knights, and academy coach at Brisbane Roar, up against Mile Sturjovski. The Macarthur coach took over the helm from Dwight York midway through last season and is enjoying an excellent campaign at the helm so far, although he would love to put an end to that run of 3 consecutive draws. Alex King is our referee. He's being assisted by Nathan McDonald and David Walsh. Adam Kersey is the 4th official. We have Chris Griffith-Jones and Carney Robinson in the VAR room. Well, they travelled down south to Sydney for the Unite round. The Den, the Brisbane supporters. And Ben Khan said he thought they were the best supporters in the Unite round. They were very lucky to have them, and they'll be looking forward to them cheering them on here, back at their home, Suncorp. Well, just 6 points separate third place Western Sydney Wanderers and 9th place Sydney FC. All 3 points are crucial at this stage of the A-League competition, the Isuzu Ute A-League, and we're underway here, Daniel McBreen, between a Brisbane Roar side who ended their run of 4 consecutive losses with a win at the weekend. Macarthur, they are 6 without a win. 3 losses followed by 3 draws.
Well, good evening, Robbie, and all our viewers out there. Yes, both teams were involved in late drama last week as well. And when you look across the stats for both these teams, I think this one could turn on the end of the game as well. Macarthur score most of their goals in the last 15, and Brisbane concede 30% of theirs in the last 15. So strap in for the end of this game, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, 6 goals in the Macarthur game at the weekend, 5 in the Brisbane Roar match as well. We will keep one eye on the skies because there is the threat of thunder and perhaps more importantly lightning as well, which we hope stays away, which has already caused a few disruptions already this season. Macarthur looking to get forward on the front foot early. Bacchus. Here's Holman. 4 goals for him so far this campaign. Jake Holman, including a stunner in the 3-1 loss to Western Sydney. Uyitsa with a good ball in. Kai Truan with the thumping header away. Match number 102 in Brisbane Roar colours in all competitions for Kai Truan at the back this evening. There's Philip Curto, last season's Player of the Year for Macarthur, and the goalkeeper who has made more saves than any other in the A-League this season. Uscock up the line for Keely Adamson. As he goes, Jack Hingett down the right-hand side, drives the cross in. It's a good one towards Waddingham, who tried to turn, and the ball could have landed anywhere as Yeoman claims he was being held, and the referee waited and waited long enough. There was no advantage, so free kick in the end given Brisbane Macarthur's way. And it's Macarthur straight onto the front foot again with Jed Drew turning left lead inside out and slipping. There has been a lot said about the state of the pitch at Suncorp in recent weeks, and the rain hasn't helped, but that was a big slip.
Well, firstly, there was that attack down the right from Jack Hingett. Waddingham trying to turn, and just look as he goes to step here. You can see the divot that's ripped away, just crumbles under his feet.
That already taking a swathe out of the pitch. It was cleared by an independent inspector before kick-off, who said it may not look great, but in terms of footing and even drainage shouldn't be a problem with the rain that has been falling steadily now for a good hour or so before kick-off. Matt Yeoman with Vujitsa. Raphael met hard by Jack Hingett. Raphael, who scored on his first game with Macarthur since signing from Melbourne City. It was on the opening day of the season in the A-League, and he gave his side a 1-0 victory, or a 1-0 lead at least, against Brisbane Roar before Jay O'Shea equalised with a free kick. Davila. Now here is Mileusnic. Back with Truan. Hingett. Okay, O'Shea coming deep, looking for the ball. He is very much the go-to man in this Brisbane Roar side. Mileusnic, the flyer on the right wing. Turns inside Vujitsa. Parsons with Hingett. Parsons again with O'Shea. Little dink over the top from Mileusnic, runs out of play.
And Jack Hingett was just trying to get back from an offside position where he'd made a forward run. Just a little misunderstanding there. Just previous to that, we saw Mileusnic 1v1 with Ivan Vujitsa on this near touchline. He just think with his pace, sometimes you might just knock that ball down the line and just go.
Jake Holman taking some evasive action there to get away from Jack Hingard. And now the Lethlean, the new signing, on the charge, forward down this left-hand side. Got Waddingham in the middle. It wasn't a bad little cutback either, just perhaps a little too far behind him.
Well, it was great play from Lethlean, wasn't it? He had a torrid 45 minutes to open his Brisbane Roar playing days against the Jets last week. Much better in the second, but that was much better. Won the ball, marauding him forward. Good interplay with his teammates. They've even come out with a better outcome.
Here's Jay O'Shea hitting it. That was a good effort. Looked like it was coming back. And Philip Curto, save number 60 of the season for him.
Well, he's full of confidence, isn't he? Well, has been his whole time in Australia, Jay O'Shea. He's been a shining light for Brisbane Roar. He recently signed a new long-term contract, which Brisbane Roar fans will be happy to hear.
Absolutely, he has been their one shining light, particularly in a couple of difficult seasons. 35 years of age now, signed on for another 2 seasons after this one. Here's Bacchus. Adamson, arrived from Sydney FC, played every single match of Sydney FC's Cup triumph. Keely Adamson, and then did not feature in the A-League season. So took the opportunity to head cross town. O'Shea again, good ball into the path of Coletti. Here's Miliusnic. Using the run of Hingard, now finds him. Turns back inside Raphael. Miliusnic again, hurdles Holman. Still going, it's a nice run. Gets the cross in, the header from Waddingham. And the youngster, in fact it was Alex Parsons looking for his first goal of the season.
Yeah, it was great attacking play down this right-hand side for Miliusnic, this time taking on his players, and look at that, arriving late, Parsons with a decent header. Just a little too central. Curto positioned well. Some positive early signs for Brisbane Roar this evening. Didn't even get a shot away in the first 45 last week, but looking dangerous down both sides in the opening 8 minutes.
Uli Davila already in the wars, one of the most fouled players in the competition. Very hard to dispossess without fouling him. Muskog with Yerman. Wujitsa into the feet of Valère Germain. His first touch of the evening, the Frenchman. Back with Davila. That's a rare little mistake from Uli Davila. Aldred and Trewin tidy up at the back. Back-to-back starts for Keely Adamson in this Macarthur side at right back. And since the transfer window opened. Little 1-2 in the middle of the park for Coletti now. For Carlo Almiento, who's out there operating in that rather speckled part of the Suncorp pitch. That's a poor pass from O'Shea, giving it away to Raphael. He gets it back from Davila. Now Raphael has plenty of pace. Comes inside, there's space on the right-hand side with Jed Drew, another flyer. First-time ball for Germain, was nicely controlled. Drew again. Germain drives it in low. looking for Davila. In the end, it's Joe Coletti that gets it clear, but only as far as Adamson. Germain claiming he was fouled.
Here's that little ball. Wasn't the most convincing clearance, wasn't it? Rather getting in each other's way, the Brisbane Roar defenders. Joe Coletti helping it on.
Sarmiento, who has fully recovered from that quad injury that kept him out of the cup final. Had him sidelined for the start of the season as well. Under Ross Aloisi. They're a side that just had a few injuries that really knocked them around. Waddingham was sidelined as well. The young striker who really does shoulder the responsibility for scoring the goals this season. Little misunderstanding between Holman and Bacchus. Add to that the likes of the experienced Scott Neville at the back, who's out with injury. Berengay's missing again as Waddingham's clever little touch. Looking for Parsons. Henry Hoare, another one who's got goals in him, who's also been missing with injury the last few weeks. All of that just happened to coincide with that run of 4 defeats, as well as 2 changes of coach, which also didn't help. It was all concentrated, distilled into a terrible month for Brisbane, which culminated in an 8-1 loss to Melbourne City.
And all the talk before that has been very positive around Brisbane, the way they'd started the season as well. You speak to the players, and they were obviously very big fans of Ross Aloisi and the way he went about it. It's a new tenure for that man, Ben Kahn. Really, talk is that he's a very similar style. He wants to play the attacking, up-tempo style, and says all the right things. He just needs to get that in place in his style.
Fantastic switch of play from Valère Germain for Jed Drew, who tried to control it with the header instead of the chest. Holman again with a little touch for the Frenchman Germain. I wonder if that's what the 98 is. France 98 on the back of Valère Germain's jersey. A tribute to the French World Cup winning squad, perhaps. Here he is again. He's the player that's played the most minutes in the outfield for Macarthur this season. I was speaking to Mile Stojovski ahead of the match at the Unite round. He said he really is everything they'd hoped for from that professional on the pitch, from the training ground, how he carries himself. There are lots of young players in this Macarthur squad. It's good for them to have that sort of model.
Yeah, definitely. That consummate professional to help them on the training pitch and off the field, but he's delivering as well. 5 goals in the last 8 matches. That's where it really counts.
I guess when you've played alongside the likes of Radamel Falcao and Bernardo Silva, João Moutinho, Ricardo Carvalho, Kylian Mbappe.
You may learn a thing or two.
Perhaps you taught them a thing or two as well.
Exactly, yep. It's always give and take.
His dad was a professional footballer as well, played for Paris Saint-Germain.
Good stock.
Waddingham, clever little pass into the path of Parsons as Waddingham goes again. Well, it was just the 2 youngsters trying to play through the middle of a crowd of black and white.
He's had plenty of touches already, hasn't he, young Waddingham?
Left lane's turned it over here. Jed Drew, Aldred coming across in cover. The cutback's a good one for Davila. And the finish is clinical. He's at it again. 3 at the weekend against Western United. And he's opened his account here after just 15 minutes. A mistake at the back, but then put down your glasses.
Well, Harvey Norman replay shows just Jed Drew drives forward, and as simple as that, as he cuts the ball back and you see it's Davia, you can only imagine one outcome for this, and that's for him to just side foot it like he does so elegantly. He doesn't try to smash it. He doesn't try to knock the leather off it. He just places it. Look at that. Exquisite. Just inside the post. And easy as you like. It's 1-0. He got 3 last week. And he's got himself another one now. Gee, he's such a silky, wonderful player, isn't he? So many players would have wanted to just smack that as hard as they can or really lace it. And he's just placed it into the bottom corner, tucked it away. Love it as you like.
No chance for Macklin Freak. In the goal for Brisbane. Their last clean sheet came 6 matches ago now for Brisbane Roar. And sides, when they start sliding down the table, it's invariably conceding goals, which is costing them. And it's the case again here. Macarthur have opened the scoring, which is something they've found a little difficult to come by recently as well.
Well, we know that Brisbane copped that 8-goal humiliation against City. But for all the positive talk we spoke about for the club and the team performance, it's only Western United have scored less. They're the only team who have scored less than them. And I believe they have the worst record for goals against as well in the league. So at both ends of the table, it's not looking good for Brisbane. They need to get this sorted, and they need to get it sorted quickly.
Disruptions off the field with the coaching staff clearly left their mark. Big job for Ben Khan. But as you say, the players certainly, if you listen to what they're saying, it was Kai Truan in the pre-match press conference who said it's a very similar approach. Little differences obviously that the coach brings. That the style of wanting to dominate possession, dominate matches, play aggressively, press high up the pitch, they were all the buzzwords of Ross Aloisi as well. It's Miliusnic. You say dominate possession, well, they're not doing that at the moment against a Macarthur side who are not known for dominating the ball either. Letty has been caught there by Holman. Holman again sliding in. Raphael just hesitated a moment, so did Kai Truan. In the end, it's Brisbane who come out with the football. It's another little misunderstanding. Vujitsa. Find Davila. It's a good ball for Hingett down the right-hand side. The cross in, just beyond Waddingham. Miliusnic now. Holman again with the challenge. Oh, he's sliding everywhere, Jake Holman, into every challenge at the moment.
If we just go back to that cross from Jack Hingett on that previous attack, that's the second or third cross now that has gone just behind that front line. We saw one where Waddingham tried to bring it around the corner. I'll let you call this one. It might be another one here.
It's Armiento this time, getting down to the byline, drives it in low.
And we had that one that was cut back for the header from Parsons, and now we've seen another couple as well, just sliding into that space behind that defensive line, and Macarthur defensive line. So just wonder if Brisbane Roar can get a late comer coming into the box. They might be able to get some joy there.
It's not easy when you've just got Waddingham in the middle, which has been the case most of the time. Parsons, when he did get onto that header, was that second runner. Here's O'Shea, forced back. Brisbane are into their rhythm of controlling the ball now. They have to do something with it. They have shown, particularly down this right-hand side. Macarthur are happy, as we've seen, though, to sit back when you have the pace of Raphael and Jed Drew, and the guile of Germain and Davila. Well, that can be just the medicine for Macarthur. There's Nish, that's a great turn. O'Shea looking to poke it through, and he was just caught on his heels, Waddingham.
Well, I think he was disappointed in himself, Jay O'Shea there. He actually broke free, and there was support coming both inside and out. It's just a little too tight, a little too cute. The angle was just too much for Waddingham to get there. He is the man, Jay O'Shea, who's created the most scoring opportunities across the league. And just got that one wrong.
Raphael. Jamal able to turn. Looks up, apologises that the ball didn't come earlier to that right wing. Buskok. Yeoman and Holman. Now we see a good passage of possession from Macarthur. Adamson keeps it in, only just. Here's Davila. For Drew. Lethlean grabbing hold. Adamson now. Davila. Oh, he's done well to win that back. And it looked like he'd lost it to Waddingham. Here's Vujitsa. Good control again. Macarthur's turn for a spell of possession. Good ball over the top. Buskok for Drew. Again turns inside Lethlean. Comes into the area. Drew. Left foot shot. Saved by Freak. What we are seeing, Macca, is both sides enjoying their passages of possession, but then producing something at the end of it.
Yeah. Jed Drew did wonderfully well there. Nice turn inside, left lean behind. Wasn't a bad strike from that angle as well. Freak forced down to his near post for the save.
Well, he's a central defender by trade, Ryan Lethlean. But we know that Brisbane have problems at left back, where Louis Zabala has been playing for much of this season. It was Jordan Courtney-Perkins last season. Ball in. Freak not coming for it. Holman. Germain on the spin. Oh, now what's the referee make of that? Is there a high boot from Aldred? If he's caught Germain, there could be trouble.
Well,
we've got another player down injured at the moment.
Well, I'm going to throw my striker's hat on here and say that if a striker did that in the box, it would have been a quick blow of the whistle and it would have been a quick free kick. And I don't think many people would have argued. Let's have another look at this. It's cleared on the first one, and it's when it comes back in here. Bowman with the little dinked header back in. Ball ends up in the air, and Robbie?
I think it might be the ball that hits Germain. Let's have a look here. Oh,
I don't know about that.
Tell.
Now,
in the old days, a dangerous play like that could have been an indirect free kick.
Exactly what I was just mulling over in my head as well.
I don't think anyone would be against a good old-fashioned indirect free kick in the box. Get
They're
everyone
always
back,
fun,
the
weren't
wall
they?
on the line.
Well, I think Tom Aldred, I'm not going to say it's a definite one, but I think he may have got away with one there.
Well, VAR just confirming in our ear that it was the ball that struck the head of Germain and not the boot. Still could have been dangerous play.
Yeah.
So now Brisbane, their turn. Show us what you've got. This is how it's been so far in the opening 26 minutes. Two sides not looking to press too high, sitting deep, allowing the opposition to come. Macarthur certainly have something to defend, courtesy of this man, Uli Davila, on the charge again. Now this is where they are so dangerous. Jed Drew, he's lightning quick. Davila's there, helps it on its way towards Germain. It was a clever idea, but just not quite the execution.
Well, it's the right-hand side for both sides, isn't it, that are causing the problems. You've got Miljevic and Hingvit for Brisbane Roar. And it's Jed Drew in particular for Macarthur down that right-hand side causing problems.
Here's Truan with O'Shea. Miljevic. First touch. O'Shea. It's a good cross. And Keely Adamson turns it behind. We have a first corner of the match for Brisbane Roar.
Here's another look. This is much reminiscent of the opening goal of the match. Just a little tighter angle for Davila there, trying to just spray it back across the goal to his teammate. On the last occasion he could open his body up and really pass it into that far corner.
Now Brisbane are the only side yet to score a headed goal this season. Could that change here? In it comes. Well, not if they're not going to cross it. The corner routine cleared by Macarthur. You see confirmation of that Macca. 45% of the attack for Brisbane Roar coming down the right-hand side. It has it, it's a similar story at the other end. I guess in some ways it makes sense because Raphael is back doing the defending on this left-hand side. And can't necessarily break forward as easily as Jed Drew, who's not being forced back by a less adventurous Ryan Lethlean. Here's Coletti. Lethlean. Ball into the feet of Waddingham, who does well. Aldred now with Kai Truan. Little dink over the top is a good one for Hingert. He gets there, cuts it back inside, but couldn't keep it in the end. Goal kick Macarthur's way.
Well, right on cue. Jack Hingert overlaps down that right-hand side. It's a cute little ball. The wet weather just helping it skip on just a little too far. And again, it's Waddingham in the near area. He's been really the only threat. There's one opportunity, that header from Parsons coming late, but he's been a lone ranger in that penalty area, hasn't he? And as we said, there's Macarthur even more swayed down that right-hand side.
Well, he scored in the quarters, the semis and the final. Well, it's the last 16, I think. Tom Waddingham went on an amazing cup run of goal scoring. The youngster, it really was the kids that were doing the damage. Quinn McNichol got the youngest ever Australia Cup goal at just 15 years of age against Sydney United. He's played a couple of times this season. Ryland Brownlee has scored this season as well for Brisbane, just 16 years of age. Son of Royce, a former Queensland Raw player. Here's Parsons. He's taking too long to line up the shot and pull the trigger. O'Shea. He looks up, again it's floated back post, and again it's turned behind by Adamson.
Well, it was a nice ball, good whip on it, just bending away from the keeper. But again, really only the one target in Waddingham. He does like that kind of delivery though. He is good in the air. We've seen him score a few goals with his head earlier this season.
Taken short. Armiento. Well, he's a player who's never afraid to shoot, Carlo Armiento. If you look at a player like Jay O'Shea, who could perhaps be encouraged to shoot more often, Carlo Armiento, he can shoot from any angle possible. They've got another corner. Here is Armiento again. O'Shea with Coletti. His cross in towards the back post, surely. It just wouldn't sit for Waddingham or Aldred. Now Kai Truin looking for his first ever A-League goal. And somehow the ball is ejected out the side towards Holman, and look out. Fantastic pass towards Jed Drew, and some very good goalkeeping from Macklin Freak.
Well, that's fantastic from Macklin Freak, because for all money there we thought Macarthur were away, but he was alert and out sweeping his back line after we saw the pinball wizard at the other end.
Well, it was a good idea from Holman. That pass from Bacchus can't find Vujica. Already 5 shots apiece.
Look at that pass there. That's great goalkeeping. It's exactly what you want when you've got a high team press. He needs to be out, sweeping that line, doing exactly his job there.
Well, Brisbane with more of the ball in the opposition half, and final thirds, but it's Macarthur with touches inside the box, leading the way as, again, they look for that little ball in between Parsons and Hingard. Only find Vujica on this occasion.
Sorry, Robbie, but that's the second or third time they've missed that pass now. It's just not good enough.
It's a rare loose pass that time from Valère Germain. Left lane with O'Shea. Well, we've seen that this Brisbane side, even low on confidence at the weekend, still has plenty of character. And if Macarthur, who themselves winless in 6, and who showed plenty of character themselves and have plenty of individual quality on the pitch, but if they just open the door a little bit, you know this Brisbane Roar side are not going to throw in the towel.
Both teams have definitely got game breakers, haven't they? Both got their fair share of injury woes as well.
Mileušnić. Clever little pass from O'Shea, who gets it back again. O'Shea gets the better of, no he doesn't, of Jed Drew. Very well defended. Was almost past him. Now Raphael. He's fouled by Mileušnić. I mentioned those injured players for Brisbane. There are players missing, such as Matt Miller and Daniel De Silva. For Macarthur, Davila absolutely furious. What was it, a clash of heads?
No, well, see here the challenge. It's a mistimed challenge from Joe Coletti. And he goes down. Watch here as Davila turns. No, his hand comes down on his face. That's what he's... It purely accidental. I think Joe Coletti was actually hurt and was just falling. You might see a yellow card for both here, one for the tackle and one for the reaction.
Well, the crowd saw it on the big screen and didn't like it too much. I may have read that one spot on. Daniel McGreen. Coletti and Davila into the book 10 minutes before half-time.
And you see there, as Coletti went in for the challenge, which was late and mistimed, he actually buckled himself underneath and hurt himself. And as he fell into the pain, he came down on Davila, who thought he was coming down and did it on purpose. There we go. Handshake, everything's good. And he's just saying, I thought you did it on purpose. All good, let's get on with football.
Exactly, certainly. Uli Davila, they still just apologising to each other by the looks of things as they run off. Well, when you have a player of that experience as well, you've seen it all before. You're not worried about hard tackles. You're not worried about the physical side of the game. You also know how to put it behind you and move on. Third yellow card of the season for Uli Davila. 5 and you get a suspension. That's what happened to Kieran Bacchus last weekend. Here's Raphael. Raphael getting it back onto the right boot. Vujicic was standing there asking for it.
Ivan Vujicic made a great run round the outside. Raphael had committed the defender. All he needed to do was roll him. He was in behind.
And of course, of those injured absentees from Macarthur, we can add a certain Aspero Potomides as well, who left the club in January to join Pohang Steelers. Here's Aldred now. Certainly in Matt Yeoman, they're not losing out in experience. At the back, Macarthur. Ingot. Truan, here's Coletti. All over the top, but it's overhit away from Mileusnic. Another player that was really part of that flying start, Mileusnic, to the season under Ross Aloisi. Oh, that's a terrible pass from Yeoman. It fell to Mileusnic, might yet fall for Waddingham. Well, he made amends, Matt Yeoman, but only just. Now Germain. Clever first-time ball. Adamson. Ahead. What he lacks in a turning circle, left lane, he looks very quick. Those long strides was gobbling up the ground. And the Brisbane Roar fans want a little bit more positive football from their side. They are chasing the game. It's a familiar feeling. Unfamiliar for Macarthur. They're in front for the first time in 4 matches, opening the scoring.
Well, they've had the majority share of possession. 10 crosses into the box, but they haven't really had fashioned a real opportunity, have they? Parsons with that header was hit straight at Curto. And for that man, Milo Sturjowski, his team's defended really well around the edge of the box, in the box. bit of desperation we saw a couple of minutes ago as the ball was bouncing around in the box. Couldn't get it clear. They did enough to get their bodies there.
43 caps for the Socceroos. Mile Stojovski, the Socceroos, who are in action this evening against Syria, their second match of the Asian Cup. You can catch it all on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. 8 goals in green and gold for Stojovski, member of that 2006 World Cup squad. Heading to the touchline when Aldred wanted the ball nodded back to him.
Well, it's going to take a few games, isn't it, to get up to the speed. Training, you can train all you like, but once you get out there and on the match day, nervous energy and the tempo of the games.
Good run inside from Drew, opening up space for Adamson. Here's low cross, he might get another chance here. Knocks it up, this time towards Davila. He has been playing with Melbourne Victory in the MPL, but it is the next level. Big step up in class from semi-professional or more or less amateur football to the professional A-League. Bacchus. Germain with Adamson again. Raphael, that's a clever touch. He's found Vujica this time. His cross, lovely ball, inviting to the back post. Germain couldn't get there, and neither could Drew.
Well, it was a lovely touch out to Vujica, but then that ball there right across the 6 yard is a wonderful ball. He's just asking for someone to get on the end of it. That man there, it was central. It was just a little too high for him. Jed Drew came in at the back post, and Ryan Lethlean did just enough to get the ball away.
Second corner of the night for Macarthur. Holman was giving a short option. Davila says we'll head straight into the box. Good leap from Waddingham, but they've lost the ball in the air. Yeoman's nod down. Bacchus. Adamson's first time cross. Towering header away from Lethlean. Davila again. Adamson gives it straight back. Davila hits it. He's not afraid to shoot from outside the box as well. One way to tease out a packed defence as well. Shots on target from outside the box. They can't afford to give someone like Uli Davila that kind of space. Wooscock does well against Waddingham. Oh, but he's given it away cheaply. Parsons is in the middle. Oh, it somehow falls for O'Shea. Coletti. Armiento. He tries to drive it across. Keely Adamson wants the free kick, doesn't get it. The 45 minutes just about up at a rain-swept Suncorp Stadium. Macarthur with the slender advantage. Truan is there to be an equaliser in first half stoppage time for Brisbane. Hingard with Truan. Parsons comes short, looking for it. It's in towards Waddingham again. Left lean. Armiento. Cross blocked again. Armiento this time, the not in. Towards Waddingham. Lethlean will get there. Decides to see it out for a corner. Well, they've had a couple of moments of panic at the back, Macarthur, from these set-piece situations when the balls arrived. A couple of pinball moments. O'Shea to deliver again. And it comes over to Paul, near post, cleared by Germain with Davila. Jed Drew taking off, the break is on. Whistle from the crowd doesn't fool anyone. And now Davila does release Drew. Germain and Holman arriving in the middle. Vujitsa wants it at the back post. Here's Holman, he can hit them from distance. Oh, and he tried to curl at goalwards, but got that one all wrong.
Well, we've seen him score from just about that space not too long ago. He just got that one all wrong. He's got his foot underneath it. He knows he should have done better there.
Last chance now for Brisbane. And that could be just about that. Boy, it's back tidying up. The first half lit up by a moment of magic from that man. He's produced enough of them in his 100-game career in the A-League for us not to be surprised. Uli Davila with the only goal of the game in the 16th minute. Nothing Macklin Freak could do about it. That's the difference in the rain at Suncorp. Half-time in Brisbane. The Roar trailing Macarthur by 1-0. And we will be right back after the break with the half-time show.
It's a mountain of football on Paramount Plus with the fourth round of the FA Cup. Australia's Ange Postecoglou leads Tottenham against the might of Manchester City. January 27, only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome to the Hungry Jacks half-time show. There you can see the Brisbane Roar players in the dressing rooms. Some running repairs being made as well. Alex Parsons getting that right ankle looked at by all accounts. It's been a disappointing opening 45 so far, Macca, in which Macarthur, well, they got the goal, but they also pretty much controlled things.
Well, they did. And it was a mistake from Lethlean that allowed Macarthur to break away. Jed Drew, who was very dangerous down that right-hand side, particularly on the counter-attack for Macarthur, squaring the ball up for Willie Davila, who just tucks it away ever so nicely into that bottom corner, just guides the ball in. He just felt as that ball came back to him, there was only one outcome, and that was it going to be nestling into the net, and he didn't disappoint. And although Brisbane had majority of the possession, they didn't really fashion any real dangerous chances in that first half.
Well, let's have a look at the Paramount Plus player index then. No surprises to see the goal scorer and match winner for the moment anyway, Uli Davila leading the way. Brisbane have had plenty of the ball. Jay O'Shea, Kyle Truan and Mile Uznic there as well. Philip Curto for the moment is holding on to that clean sheet as well. Well, we've got a big night of Socceroos action coming up. Let's head to Qatar now, where Simon Hill and Andy Harper are with us. Gentlemen, what can we expect tonight?
Yeah, thanks very much. The big night for the Socceroos is here. They got the job done against India, of course, by 2-0. Maybe not the best performance. They might have to be a little bit better against Syria tonight, Andy Harper.
I think Syria will force them to be better. I think they're ready to get better. I don't think they were poor against India, but certainly to labour the point of Australia's lethargy or difficulty or sloppiness would be to take away from the huge effort India put into that game. But certainly it's a different competition altogether now with the likes of Syria country. We've watched a number of times, and they have always given Australia a lot of trouble.
Yeah, World Cup qualifiers 2017 that Australia were lucky to get through, and then a narrow victory at the Asian Cup 4 years ago in the UAE. Talking of Syria, they got a 0-0 draw against Uzbekistan on match day one, which is maybe a little bit of a surprise, so they're clearly going to be very difficult to break down.
Yeah, so they've got Uzbekistan. We'll talk about them in a couple of days, but they have come into this tournament with a very big reputation. A lot of people are expecting a lot from them, and the fact that Syria were able to do what they did against this highly vaunted opponent speaks well for what Syria have achieved and are likely to achieve, and the difficulties they're likely to pose for Australia. Hector Cooper, the coach, got huge experience. Has an experience in Asia as well. He's coached in North Africa and Egypt. He's been in the UAE. He's been in Uzbekistan. He knows this region. There's a little bit of a South American flavour in the Syrian team as well, South American Syrian players. And I just think that you look at that game against Uzbekistan, and not often one to rifle through a pile of statistics, but as I did looking into the match, the one that caught my eye was the effective tackle rate of the Syrian team. 93% effective in their tackles. Now, the other stats were comme ça. They didn't threaten the goal much. They got a few shots away. Their passing was okay, not particularly great in the attacking half, but they were very, very difficult to beat one-on-one. And as I said, 93% effective tackle rate. I don't want to reduce the whole game to one thing, but I find it hard to get away from this. How do the Aussies deal with that? Play around it, play through it, good enough to get rid of the Syrian barnacle, as it will be, because these guys are incredible fighters.
And in terms of Australia, probably the one thing that a lot of people picked out for the performance against India was the need for a little bit more creativity. Do you sense that Australia will be able to find that as the tournament progresses?
Yeah, well, they're going to have to, and I think it'll be a progression. We saw great influence off the bench from Jordi Boss and Sammy Silvera, Riley McGree. There's two or three others who can contribute. Marco Tilio can light the fuse when he gets a chance as well. So we have those ingredients. I think the problem, if there was one against India, was the whole thing just struggled to get going. And by the time the subs came on, and they've received duly a lot of credit for the impact they had, but actually the ship had started to settle already in that second half. Bacchus had set a really nice tone. The passing was getting a bit crisper, and then Graham Arnold threw the great subs on, and it worked a treat. Very good second half. But I do expect the team to get better and better as they go on, and they're going to have to be. This is going to be a huge clash. Syria They're no teams fools. This is going to be a really good one.
We're looking forward to it. It is Australia against Syria. Join us later.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, we're going to have all the second half action coming up in a couple of moments' time, but to get us there, let's have a look back at all the glory that was the Unite round.
Roos, that's a nice direct run, and here's the opportunity for Western United, and it's Garuccio who opens the scoring with his first goal of the season. Now there's space here for Davila, an absolute special. Nazarene, Pena, a little bit of space opens up, Pena, like a bullet, and there it is, a hat-trick for Macarthur, and they've pulled it back again.
Well, that's a great pass for Parias. Great goal. Wonderful clinical finish.
All happening deep in midfield for the Mariners. Can they flip the field here with an incisive through ball? Jim Reese round the goalkeeper. A question of the finish. And the Mariners equalise in the 89th minute.
Ryan Grant, that's a good ball for Socceroos, whose touch is put superb. Ball in behind for Halloran and Isuzu. Wonderful cross. Isuzu again, that's a great turn and a great finish. Well, do you need another striker? Hiroshi Isuzu. Isuzu again, Halloran in the middle. Isuzu to return the favour, and it's in from Irankunda. Here's Klopp. Isuzu, great header. It's in the back of the net. It's a hat-trick. This time on his left foot, Lolly. Hits it again, deflected, and it's in. And it is game on.
Khalifi, who's putting it back to Taggart, and Adam Taggart just cannot stop scoring. Barbarousis in behind. Barbarousis, there it is. Shushnia driving forward. Oh, what a strike. Barbarousis bearing down on goal again. Here is Payne. Tim Payne with a goal. And here's David Williams with a chance, laying it off to Carluccio. How about that for a pass from Rufer? Payne. Oh, there's another. Barbarousis with a double.
Ingham links up with Steins again, cuts back, Stamatolopoulos, and there it is. Here's Jay O'Shea with plenty of space. Jay O'Shea from almost nothing for Brisbane Roar.
Barbarousis in behind. Barbarousis, there it is! Rupa rifles it at goal. Alex Rupa, the captain. Here is Payne. Tim Payne with a goal. What is going on tonight? Payne, oh there's another. Barbarousis with a double.
Economidis goes down. Penalty. He doesn't have the crowd behind him, Arzani, as boos ring around the stadium. He silences them with a goal.
Welcome back to Suncorp, where Uli Davila's clinical finish in the 16th minute separates the two sides. Everything going swimmingly to the moment for Macarthur FC, who lead by a goal to nil, looking to end their run of 6 matches without victory. Brisbane Roar looking to get back to winning ways at home, having won their first match in 5 during the Unite round last weekend in Sydney. They've made one change at the break, with Jonas Markowski coming on to replace Tom Waddingham at half-time, the number 8 for Brisbane Roar, who got his first goal during the Unite round, Daniel McBreen, and also earned that rather controversial penalty against Newcastle, certainly one that gave Brisbane the chance to end that run of defeats.
Well, he had an impact, a positive impact for Brisbane Roar, didn't he? He gets another opportunity now, 45 minutes. James Waddingham worked hard in that first half, didn't he? Quite isolated though. Markowski gets another opportunity.
Top scorer in the Victorian NPL with the Altona Magic. Dad was coach. John, of course, former Socceroo. And, played for many, many clubs. John Markowski, a fantastic player, a fantastic figure. Oh, that's given away by Jed Drew for Markowski Jr. Armiento crowded out by Adamson and Drew, and then Armiento did well, got front position. Third yellow card of the evening coming, a second for Macarthur, Keely Adamson.
Well, Alex King tried to let play go, didn't he? As Armiento looked to drag away, Keely Adamson was saying he's going nowhere. He tried to go for a little bit of a skiing session by holding on to the shirt. Gets himself into the referee's book.
Water skiing, as the case may
Well,
be.
yeah. It's stopped raining, has it?
If anything, got a little bit heavier. Oh, now this is not good for Carlo Armiento. He's landed awkwardly. Now, is that a... Well, there's a dislocated finger by the looks of things. There, it's stepped on quite painfully. Now, is there... Looked like something they were pulling on a finger. Well, they've given him the all clear. They've said, try and ignore it. Keep going.
He wasn't trying the old pull my finger trick, was he? He's not a dad yet, surely.
Well, that is always painful when the hand gets stepped on by the football boots, but it shouldn't affect his left foot as he places this one. Carlo Armiento, he does have a fantastic left foot. Jay O'Shea was standing there for a while, has decided not to even pretend to take this one. It is Armiento, drives it in near post. Oh, it falls! Nobody wants it. It's still there. Now the strike. Oh, and it's missed everything. What a chance for Brisbane.
Well, we saw similar in the first half, didn't we? Macarthur just couldn't get the ball away, and as it comes out to Mile Uznic, can't quite hit the target.
Well, that was the first chance of the second half, and it was a good chance for Brisbane. And immediately, Markowski involved as well, with a little touch for Mile Uznic.
It was almost a carbon copy of the first half, wasn't it?
And this we also saw in the first half. Jed Drew charging down the right-hand side. The cross was poor on that occasion. Holman towards Germain. Parsons helping it on. Holman again. Raphael. Jack Hingett looking to stay close, keep the pressure on. Vujic has done that very nicely. Holman with the little touch for Germain. He's been flattened in the back plate by Aldred. Bacchus finds Drew. Adamson ahead of him. It's a good ball. Looking for the back heel. Left lean. Alert to the danger. Gets it clear with Parsons. And there's a little opportunity here. Pass from O'Shea. Just got caught up in the heels of Markovski.
Here's another look. That's one of the pitfalls of being the security. Not watching the play, you're watching the crowd, and whack. Right in the back.
So the shot from Mileusnic didn't hit a target.
Well, here's a bright one. Maybe he was distracted by the jacket.
Here's Kai Truan with O'Shea again. It's been a positive start to the second half from both sides, but particularly Brisbane Roar looking for a way back into the game. Adamson gives it away to left lane. He straightens up the attack.
You just have a look there at 2, 4, 6 Brisbane players in this left-hand side of the field. No one in the box.
Armiento's ball in again. Yep. Markovski and Mileusnic. That was Parsons just getting in there that time. Side that crosses less than Brisbane Roar in the season so far, as that ball in is headed away. Mileusnic looking to get away from Bacchus, can't do so. Holman there in cover, but again they've given it away.
So who's the team that crosses less than Brisbane? I've got me intrigued now.
Just stay with the action momentarily while I flick through the pages. Wellington Phoenix, another counter-attacking side who transition quickly. I guess when you have your playmakers central, your O'Shea's, Davila as well. Now for Macarthur, who come forward. It's a good run from Germain. They've got numbers forward here. Ball to the back post. It's a fantastic pass. And Raphael, who scored against Brisbane on the opening day of the season, backs up. It's just his second Macarthur goal. They've both come against Orange. And Macarthur on the counter-attack, make it a 2-goal cushion.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay will show, we were just talking about crosses. Look at this, he sets it up, he weighs up the situation, he looks up and sees 5 or 6 orange shirts in front of him, a few of his teammates behind, and then he sees Raphael coming at the back post, and that is a pinpoint cross. Too much time to look, weigh up the situation, not close down, and a player of his class and quality and experience will put in a ball like that, and Raphael doubles the lead.
Second goal since joining. He's played every single match this season. Now VAR are just having a look at it for the offside. Was a fantastic ball.
No, he's fine.
All good.
Perfectly timed run, exquisite pass, but again, I mentioned so much time for Valère-Germain just to take his touch, assess the situation. He's a player of his quality, and anyone at this level is going to punish you.
And that's when you look at the two sides. Jay O'Shea is certainly a player with that quality as well for Brisbane. Here he is on the ball, getting forward, but it's a good challenge, and Germain asking how many times. Kai Truant this time. They needed to be a bit closer up the other end of the pitch, not 25 metres from his own goal. Oh, it's close. This is one for Drew to chase. Well, Brisbane have lost their last two home matches at Suncorp. They haven't played a lot here in recent seasons, of course, but the last time they lost 3 in a row at Suncorp Stadium, their traditional spiritual home, if you like, was back in 2019. It's another great pass from Germain, this time for Jed Drew. And his cross just a little too soft in the end as Lethlean and Truan managed to reel him in.
He didn't really have any support, did he? He was looking to come inside, then he had to go outside to create more time. Not quite there. And I just wonder if Ben Kahn is now looking at his bench to think, right, I need to do something here. Listen, Keegan Yelich is back. On the jock as well.
Here is Markovski now with Armiento. First time ball. Now, if that had just been curling a little deeper, Mili Uznic was arriving at the back post. It's dealt with, though, by Philip Curto, who is looking to hold on to that third clean sheet of a season for him. Bacchus. We are going to see a change. Macca, that's going to be Ayon Majok and Louis Zabala, by the looks of things, preparing to come on. Majok, who South Sudanese born flyer, spent time in Adelaide, 3 appearances for Brisbane last season, to go with his appearance off the bench in that win at the weekend. No Keegan Jelicic for the moment, or perhaps we just haven't seen. They're not going to make those changes while defending a corner, though. Rule number 1. Davila is there to deliver as well. Here it comes, ball back post. Yerman is there, he got his head on it. Now here's Ivan Vujica with Bacchus. Just taking his time, was almost closed down by Markovski. German claiming he's still being pushed around by Aldred every time the ball gets there. We've seen a couple of real moments of quality from Halil Germain in this match, though. Holman, he's caught that time. And those substitutions can come now. So Armiento is coming off. And Ryan Lethlean making way for Louis Zabala. That's a straight swap, you would imagine, at left back. And Majok at left wing. So the left side changed. There you see both players lining up down that left flank for Brisbane. Now, is that Macca sensing an opportunity down the left flank, or looking to prevent something happening?
Oh, a little bit of both, I would say. I saw Macarthur's attacking thirds. They've been getting a lot of joy down that right-hand side in their transition moments. Jed Drew was a constant thorn in Lethlean's side. We saw the goal come from that side as well, or both goals, sorry, come from that side as well.
Oh, that's a good pass. Raphael's done brilliantly off the post. The follow-up, Jed Drew is there. And that's 3. And again, immediately, it comes down this right-hand side. Raphael did ever so well to keep that alive when it looked like the chance had almost gone. And Jed Drew, in the end, a simple finish for his first goal of the season.
Well, it's that wonderful ball there on the Harvey Norman replay. And Tom Aldred just can't quite deal with it. It was an awkward height for him. And the back pass goes astray. Raphael does the hard work. And Jed Drew, who has done a lot of hard work for his team down that right side, he's there following up and gets himself a nice easy finish to make it comfortable for Macarthur. We spoke about how they've been dangerous down this right-hand side. It was a wonderful ball. It was Keely Adamson that played the ball. Difficult for Tom Aldred, but the persistence of Raphael and Jed Drew, like all good attackers should, following up just in case, found himself almost an open goal.
They've scored in their 6th game in a row now, Macarthur. They've scored in their 11th away game in a row. And perhaps most importantly, they're keeping that clean sheet.
Well, they haven't had problems scoring, have they? They've only been kept scoreless once this season. It's the other end that they've had the problems. But at this moment in time, things are looking rosy.
It was just that 3-0 loss away to Wellington Phoenix, where they were kept under wraps. Now, Jay O'Shea scored the equaliser against Macarthur from this kind of range. A free kick that's squeezed inside the far post. He goes low this time. Coletti has a look, tries to bend it. Great stop, Curto.
It was a wonderful try, wasn't it? I'm not sure if it was going to creep in, but Philip Curto was taking no chances.
Great to see the home crowd in the rain still trying to cheer their side back into the game. They know there's no such thing as a lost cause. In it comes, back post, they're queuing up, and Markowski 2-2 for Jonas Markowski, who again signals the rallying call from the bench for the 2nd week in a row.
Well, we just spoke about Macarthur's problems at the back. They were lining up there, weren't they? Look, 1, 2, 3 on the Harvey Norman replay. Just a simple ball in. It's a good ball in, but simple for Markowski. Free header, a couple of yards out. We said at the start of this game that there might be some action towards the end and some twists and turns. Well, it's still on the cards because Brisbane Roar, they aren't giving up at home.
They've gone early, Macca. It was meant to be the last 15 minutes, not all the second half.
Well, it might be a 7-6 thriller yet, Robbie.
That Unite round was the 3rd highest scoring round in the history of the A-League. 28 goals in the 6 matches. And this season is already looking like being the most prolific in the history of the A-League as well.
Well, the fans want goals, don't they? Everyone likes to see goals. You can't ask any more from the A-League players this season. In the last couple of seasons, in fact, because they're producing.
Now Jed Drew taking on Majok. Now, is there going to be a little bit of urgency here? Majok again. Down the left-hand side. Comes in, shoots. Markowski's there. A little touch. Looking for Mile Uznic.
Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And here's another look at the goal. Markowski with the easiest of headers. But as Majok broke down that left again, he looks up central and sees 4 or 5 black shirts and hardly an orange shirt in sight. They need to get bodies up closer in the box when they get out in those wide areas.
Here they come again. They've got their tails up, Brisbane. It's cleared only as far as Coletti. Hits it on the left, deflected and off the post. Well, how close was that to Brisbane being right back in the game, and the crowd are responding.
Well, you mentioned the Den lifting to get their team going. Well, they've got a reaction.
Again, time and space for the cross. Aldred, Majok brings it down. Zabala back out with Mile Uznic. They're being caught sleeping at the moment at the back, Macarthur, from those set pieces. Oh, and there could be trouble there. Jamal fouled again. It's going to be a yellow for Parsons.
Well, there's been a definite response from Brisbane Roar. Majok has made a difference on this left-hand side already. His pace. That is so close to being within a goal and it being really game on.
Bounced off Tommy Uzcock, who just did enough to deny Coletti, Adamson and Drew. So the right side of Macarthur being replaced. Nicolau comes on, so does Clayton Lewis, the Kiwi international midfielder, who will go into that holding role in the middle of the park. Jed Drew comes off, and it looks like Holman's headed out to the left wing now, Raphael to the right, and there's a little bit more steel in the middle of the park now with Lewis and Bacchus.
Moves and counter moves from the coaches. Both looking to swing the game in their favour.
Zabala against Nicolau, the two substitutes face to face. Here's O'Shea. Played every single minute of Brisbane's season so far. O'Shea, Majok. Cleared. And between them, Clayton Lewis and Uli Davila do well. That's lovely football. Davila, he'll need support though. He's fouled by Jack Hingett.
Yeah, I think it's a yellow card. Jack Hingett, just a little shove there. I think Uli Davila was glad to feel the shove as well. He knew he didn't have the pace to go the whole way. Just having a little sleep there and a little re-energised boost.
Midway through the second half. Confirmation of that yellow card for Jack Hingett. Zabala under pressure from Raphael. Aldred with O'Shea. Five seasons now for those two with Brisbane Roar, as here's Mile Uznic. They're in behind them again here. Parsons was arriving. Macarthur have to be careful. Lewis, he's been brought in to try and shore things up in the middle of the park. Well, they will still be dangerous on the counter-attack. But if Brisbane come looking, if Brisbane commit those numbers forward, we're almost sure to have more goals in this one, as it's over the top for the pace of Majok. Now Mile Uznic, Markovski offering that target. Coletti. They only just managed to keep it alive. Mile Uznic again. Well, after all that. It's just blasted high and into the stands. Well, Ben Khan will be very happy with his side's response, but he'll be hoping it's not like this every week. It was twice coming from behind before getting the 3 points against Newcastle. Before that, it was again conceding inside a minute against Sydney FC when Fabio scored here, a first half double. Oh, now Rafael has felt the groin go there. Oh, we saw Sydney FC suffer a number of little niggly injuries here 2 weeks ago. It was in the rain as well. Mile Stojowski trying to have a look as his assistant coach Matt Smith is giving some instructions. And it's a A-League debut for Macarthur, for Bernardo, and a return to the A-League with Brisbane Roar for Keegan Yelicich, who's just come on. The former Brisbane Roar youngster, a former Kiwi international, and wants to play in the Olympic Games for Australia. Wants to be part of that journey. And after signing for Ghent in Belgium and then going out on loan to Norway with Stabæk, where he made just 8 appearances, he grabbed the opportunity to join up again with his former Brisbane Roar youth coach, Ben Khan, and try and get some game time and be part of that Olympic squad. Here's Madjok, they're in here, palmed out, the follow-up, oh, Mile Uznic. That was heading, no, now Madjok's gone down and the referee says that's diving. Yellow card for Ayon Madjok.
Well, it was a wonderful opportunity, wasn't it? In the first instance for Madjok. He just opens up his body. It's not a bad strike. It's a good height for Kurto. Mile Uznic with the follow-up. I think Alex King gets this right here. He just goes down as soon as he sees Bernardo come near him. He was down before he even got there. But they keep coming, don't they, Brisbane?
They have the wind in their sails. Brisbane Roar. Again, the character of this side. Oh, Davila's done nicely. Germain takes over. Nicolau, nicely done from the former Apia Leichhardt man. There is Bernardo. After 31 A-League appearances for Adelaide, felt that he wasn't getting enough game time. And so, according to Carl Viet, made himself unavailable for selection a couple of weeks ago before completing his move to Macarthur.
Well, that's football, isn't it? You think you're not getting the minutes you deserve, and he was fantastic in the minutes he did get for Adelaide. I must admit, I was a bit shocked that he wasn't getting game time. You never know what's happening behind the scenes, but he felt he needed a move to keep improving his game.
And how about that passing from Macarthur? And now Davila against Truan. Davila still going. The ball all the way across for Germain. I'm not sure that was really his initial intention.
I think he was caught, wasn't he, between trying to take a touch for himself and laying it off for his teammate, and got caught in between.
The passing up the left flank to release Willie Davila was really lovely football. And we've seen that from both sides today. They don't lose possession very easily.
Particularly in the wide areas, they've done very, very well. Moving the ball, forward runs.
We've had another 4 goals in this one, so the attacking football continues. Makes this such an entertaining league this year. And I mentioned right at the top of the programme, the gap between 3rd place Western Sydney and 9th place Sydney FC is just 6 points. 2 wins. It's really only the 2 bottom clubs that are cut adrift at the moment in Perth and Western United. As that effort is deflected again. And it's gone out for a corner. Keegan Jelicic reintroducing himself to Australian fans.
Well, the A-League men's has continued of the trend of last year. We went to about 2 games from the end of the season and it was about 4 points separating the bottom 8 teams. It was such a tight league. And it's showing it again here, and here's the replay. Just deflected off his own player there. We move into the last 15 minutes. Both these teams have had so much drama.
9 goals scored in the last 15 for Macarthur this season. You can add a bag full of goals in the AFC Cup as well. And they also scored a number of goals. Their regional semi-final will be coming up in a month's time in that competition. As here they are on the front foot again with Holman. Here's Zabla. They look to come again. Macarthur, who will take on Sabah FC as that effort is palmed away by Curto. Central Coast Mariners take on Phnom Penh Crown. Matches set for the 13th of February at the moment. And of course, if it's Australian football, you can catch it on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. Matildas, Socceroos, youth national teams, Asian Cup competition. Here's O'Shea. Everyone scrapping for every single ball as Majok has stayed down, and Nicolau showed a little bit of concern for him there as well.
Oof. That's why.
Calls from the crowd who all saw it on the big screen and are now chanting off. It's not often you see a player really that concerned, though. It looks as though he really knows that there was plenty of force in it. Look, he's off the ground almost. It is all his weight through that right ankle. Majok has been lively since coming on. He is lightning quick. Played 1 game for Western United against Adelaide back in 21-22 before heading to play in the South Australian NPL with Adelaide City. Eight goals in 18 there, earned him a recall back to Brisbane Roar. Paris Gamulka replaces Coletti. So it was Coletti that took Gamulka's place in the starting lineup in one of the two changes from last weekend. It was Zabala with one for the bloopers reel at the end of the season. The worst throw-in of 23-24.
Well, it's been raining constantly all night. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Nicolau up the line towards Bernardo. That's a bit better from Louis Zabala this time. Now here's Truant. Macarthur have just steadied the ship a little bit, haven't they, the last few minutes. Nicolau with Bernardo. Oh, he's given it away. Here's Zabala. Zabala still. Oh, it's bouncing around Markovski. And Matt Yeoman did just enough.
Well, you say they've steadied the ship, but it still feels as though Brisbane could do something at any moment. Just, it's on a knife edge. If they can manage to snatch a goal in the next couple of minutes, it will be that exciting finish we talked about earlier.
Macarthur have been playing a lot of football this season. They've played their extra match from round 12 already as well against Adelaide at Coopers. So they've the 14th match of the season for them, as the referee has given that to Davila. The substitute Gamulka just into the game, giving away that free kick. The free kick has been taken quickly, but Zabala did well, but that's Jay O'Shea looking for the most difficult 1-2 of the day.
For his very high standards, he's been a little bit off tonight, hasn't he, Jay O'Shea? A couple of passes and decisions that from him we'd normally expect a little better.
Matt Yeoman with Bacchus. Oh, there's nobody there. Wietzer comes charging back, but they've given it away again. Are they going to be the architects of their own downfall here, Macarthur? Mileušnić wide. Hingard still getting forward down the right-hand side, driven in by Mileušnić. Cleared by Yeoman, only as far as Aldred. Look how high they're playing now, Brisbane. Trying to squeeze everyone into that front third. Jelicic with Gamulka. Back for Keegan Jelicic. The cutback is good. O'Shea helping it on its way. Aldred now. Majok taking on Nicolau. The big switch again. Mileušnić drives it across the face. Oh, that could so easily have bounced in off Markovski. Corner to follow.
And the pressure continues. Majok is in the thick of most things, and that shot there tipped away by Curto. So easily, as you say, could have just come off either one of those players and into their net.
Jelicic, after that outstanding season with Perth Glory last year, earning the move to Europe. Curto comes. Oh, he spilt it. The referee, after a long look at it, says yes, okay. Free kick. Markovski and Nicolau have had a coming together, both staying down.
Majok, wasn't it, coming through the back, got his own player there. A little bit of friendly fire. You see just squashes Markovski against Curto.
Now Nicolau has taken a knock on the head. Mile Stojovski watching on, just analysing, the quiet man on the bench for Macarthur, looking to extend their unbeaten run against Brisbane to 5 matches. Now, it didn't look that serious, but clearly Nicolau is struggling after that knock. He was hit not only by Markovski on the way down, but also by his own goalkeeper, Philip Curto. Now, all professional sport has to take the concussion protocols very, very carefully. They've already taken off one right back and replaced him with another. It looks as though Nicolau, who's taken his time getting off the field, has been given the all clear to come back on. Markovski's waiting to get back on the field as well. And both players quickly rejoin. Lewis does well with Davila, but can't find Bernardo. Free kick goes Brisbane's way. It was a foul by Bernardo, I think. Gomulka with Jelicic. Gomulka looking up the line for Zabala. Now Davila with Lewis, Uzcock, Nicolau again. Paramount Plus player index. Jonas Markovski made that immediate impact off the bench. Raphael with a goal and an assist for him as well, with that shot that came back off the post and set up Jed Drew. Jalma looking to play in. Davila, O'Shea again, almost letting that one squeeze away from him. 3.5 minutes left. Is it a case of too little too late from Brisbane, who were much better in this second half? If it's got to happen, it's got to happen now. Jelicic, oh, Keegan Jelicic has gone absolutely flying in there. And it's an unhappy return to A-League football for Jelicic. Tommy Uzcock was not impressed at all. And it's Clayton Lewis, the victim of that, at best, rash challenge from Keegan Jelicic, who's been shown a straight red card. And if it wasn't over, it might be there with that decision.
Well, you could see from the reaction of Tommy Uzcock what he thought of it. He was straight in there. Alex King went straight to the top pocket. Oh, that's reckless, isn't it? Scissor motion, uncontrolled, doesn't get the ball, gets the player. I don't think there's much arguing, and Alex King knows he's got to get the red card out quick to just dispel the anger of the players.
Well, he's waiting, Keegan Jelicic, to see if there's going to be any reprieve. Now the feet are down, but you can't go sliding in like that. There's no restraint, but it's not studs up. It's in wet conditions. But if you're going to go in like that, you've at least got to get the ball, don't you?
Well, that's the thing. These days...
And even then, is that enough?
Well, these days it's about, are you in control? And the way he slides in, and as you say, in the conditions, he's got no control. It's the way the referees view it these days.
Well, it's all part of the learning curve for a young player who's back home in Queensland, where he played much of his youth career before heading to Perth, grabbing a few headlines. A big move overseas as well. And perhaps just a case of over-eagerness as much as anything else. There was a yellow card as well in there for Tommy Uscock.
Well, look, I don't think there was any malice involved in it. I think he was just trying to rush in and win a strong tackle, but he got it all wrong, didn't he? The timing was wrong. As we say, he was not in control. And if he collected Clayton Lewis didn't get out the way as much as he did, it could have been an injury, so...
Well, it was certainly spectacular. Now Hingett hooks the ball up to the back post, and it's curled out of play. The Brisbane fans not happy again. Well, it certainly has been a lively second half. 3 goals and a red card. There is that yellow for Uscock for his reaction. And now, is there going to be some icing on the cake for Macarthur? 7 minutes of stoppage time. Lewis hits it, it falls for Bernardo. On his Macarthur debut, he holds onto the ball. Can't fashion anything for himself on that left boot. Vujitsa. Cross back in, and Germain apologising for being one of the players that made no run whatsoever. Card for Bernardo now. It's been a busy night for referee Alex King. O'Shea. Little ball for Mile Uznic. Zabala there. Just having to force those passes to try and make things happen. The Den still making plenty of noise. They like the direction that their club is heading this season. Majok clips the ball to the back post. Vujitsa's header. Hingett can't get there. Holman does. He goes to ground. Referee says play on. Kai Truan's done well, but the cross is poor.
To be fair to Alex King, a couple of times players have gone down today and he said, no, get up. I like that. He wants the game to flow. Doesn't want players to go down before the contact.
O'Shea. Still full of running. Jay O'Shea, clever little pass for Markovski. Nice close control. The cross is blocked. Zabala goes down. Markovski has it again though. No way past Uscock. 8 yellow cards and a red for Alex King. As Skatadis is preparing to come into the game. It was he that provided the cross for Uli Davila's 3rd goal and the equaliser against Western United. Now Davila is, was about to come off and give Valère Germain the captain's armband. He's just seen Bacchus down and thought maybe you just want to check that first, Millet. Skatadis is that central midfielder that can replace probably either Davila, a little bit more defensive, or Bacchus. Uli Davila, he could get that captain's armband off. He's really struggling to get it back on. he's done it now. As Bacchus, when he was suspended last week. There's Aliugla. The young guns, Raphael, smile back on his face as he's back amongst the goals this evening. Keely Adamson, who had to bide his time this season at Sydney FC and then wait for the transfer window to open to play for Macarthur. Confirmation of that change, so let's hope it's not another injury problem. Mile Sturjovski, who goes to check on his player. Probably going to head a minute or so over the 7 added on as well. Good switch of play for Vujica. Now Holman. They love to play wide, don't they? Spread the game. Lewis back for Holman. It's nice play. It's a great save by Freak. The follow-up header from Holman. Missing everything.
Well, they've looked good in the wide areas tonight, Macarthur, haven't they? They've soaked up a lot of pressure from Brisbane Roar, but transition counter-attacking football, it's been a joy to watch at times.
Majok back for Zabala. Uzcock shepherds it out of play. He's taken a heavy knock on the hip there. A bit of a painful one as well.
I was going to say, it's just what you need in the 96th minute when you've got the game wrapped up. Just a cop a knock on the hip that's going to be there for you for the next few days. It's just there.
Solid contact. One in the air by Gamulka. Majok hooks it back towards O'Shea, who's playing higher up the pitch, but the early promise of those substitutions from Ben Khan in the end didn't live up to that potential, did they, of Markovski coming on?
Well, it looks bright for a while, and they have applied the pressure, but Macarthur, on the whole, have really dealt with that quite well.
Here goes Holman. He's been allowed to run a long way. Now Skotadis saved only just by Freak and Aldred. The 7 minutes of stoppage time are up. Is there going to be a last consolation for Brisbane? Majok looks to go again. No way through. Bernardo. With Clayton Lewis now. Well, that's a lovely pass for Valère Germain. He's clean through on goal. Germain can't score. Well, he's provided a few brilliant passes today, but he could have really put the icing on the cake for Macarthur there. And it could have been an even heavier home defeat. A third home loss in a row for Brisbane. Here's Aldred. O'Shea still toiling in the middle of the park. Markovski, Aldred again. The shot blocked by Curto. We're into the 9th minute of stoppage time. And there will be no more. Well, the victory in Unite round for Brisbane may have been nothing more than a false dawn at the moment for a side that's doing it tough. It's Macarthur who are all smiles they end a run themselves of 3 consecutive draws and 6 games without victory. It's a return to winning ways for Mile Sturjovski's men, and they've done it pretty convincingly in the end, in the rain at Suncorp. They climb up to 4th place provisionally in the standings in the process, back into the top 6. It was Uli Davila that got the ball rolling in the 16th minute. It was in the second half that the game really came to life. Raphael and Jed Drew in the end taking the game beyond the home side, who looked to keep the suspense going when Markovski pulled a goal back just after the hour mark. But there was no way back into the game, and Keegan Jelicic on his return to the A-League picking up a red card in the 89th minute, just compounding Brisbane's misery in the rain at Suncorp as it finishes here. Brisbane Roar 1, Macarthur 3. Well, Macca, in the end, a deserved victory, if not entirely convincing in the second half, but still a strong, deserved win for Macarthur.
Yeah, most definitely. Got the job done. Were very dangerous in the counter-attacking football in the wide areas. Jed Drew in particular was fantastic down that right-hand side. They just know when to slow the game down, when to speed it up. Uli Davila does it so well, doesn't he? Gets on the ball and controls the tempo of the game when they need to, but they defended valiantly as well when they needed to, because Brisbane came at them, particularly with the substitutions. They came and they pressed, but that one blemish of the goal, they really were exceptional in defence. Didn't really give Brisbane too many opportunities in the box. A couple of long-range efforts, but a deserved win for Macarthur indeed.
Well, Alex Parsons, who's getting some game time in recent weeks, unable to try and turn this one around. Ben Khan said in the pre-match press conference that they're looking forward to getting some of their important players back. We've seen how difficult it is for both these two sides in recent weeks when injuries hit some of their players, but they've done well to keep battling, and for Macarthur and their captain Uli Davila, they've done well to get that win this afternoon, this evening. And we're joined by Uli Davila now, our man of the match. Uli, for you, in your 100th match in the A-League, your 50th match for Macarthur, you celebrate that with a goal and a victory. A good night for you.
Hello there, and yeah, very happy for the 3 points. We've been working hard to get the points in the last games, and yeah, finally we have the victory.
Uli, Brisbane kept coming at you in the second half with their changes, but your counter-attacking football was a real treat to watch, particularly in those wide areas. Jed Drew, Raphael, you must be good when you get the ball and you look up and see those guys making those forward runs in positive areas.
Yeah, Brisbane, to be honest, they made a good match. It was difficult for us, but yeah, what you said, to be honest, we are very good in the counter-attack. We have very, very rapid kids, and sometimes it's hard to catch them also. They have to slow down a little bit sometimes.
Oh, you're still looking pretty young out there yourself, Uli. How important was it to not drop your heads with that 6 games without a win? Because you beat Sydney, you were top of the league, and then 6 games without a win. Now you're bouncing back. Is this the Macarthur you want to see in weeks coming forward now?
Yeah, obviously, I think we have more matches than other teams with the Asian Cup. So in one moment, that pay us. That was difficult for us to keep in the same level. I think we drop a little bit, but the team start to look sharp again, start to look fitter, and yeah, obviously, we are excited to keep going and doing well this season.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Uli. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, let's have a look at the 3-2-1 Macca. Uli Davila leading the way, and a clean sweep in the Alex Tobin medal points for Macarthur.
Yeah, well, he could have given points for probably Valère-Germain as well, but Uli Davila, he controls the tempo of the game. He knows when to slow it down in the midfield. He knows when to release the players, and Jed Drew today was fantastic down that right-hand side. He was a willing runner, created a goal, got one himself, and Raphael as well was a constant threat as well. A goal and assist for him. it was a good night for Mile Sturjovski for his young guns going forward.
Well, that's right, and I'm pleased to say we're joined by Mile Sturjovski right now as well, in the rain at Suncorp. Mile, it may be raining, but you got the win. I guess that is a good evening for you guys all the same.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very happy with the result. You know, after having 6 games without a win, you know, it's good to come away to Brisbane and get the 3 points.
Mile, you've scored plenty of goals again tonight. We were talking about the other end for you guys. Apart from that one blemish with their goal, it was a pretty resounding defensive performance from your team. You didn't give too much up. Is that something you've worked a lot on? Because it looked very comfortable tonight at times.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we focused on during the week. You know, we had a good week of training, and you know, I thought the boys were excellent tonight. They put in a lot of work. It was a big effort, and like I said before, very pleased with the result. I thought it was well deserved.
And let's have another chat about Uli Davila. We've just given him another 3 points. He really does know how to control a game, doesn't he? He knows when to slow it down, when to go. He knows when he can win those fouls and just really take the pressure off, because Brisbane did come at you in that second half. It must be really important for you to keep